Hey guys, it's Ryan, and I have a special guest today with me, Codskar.
Hello, my name is Codskar. I'm here doing a dual com.
And today we're talking about a subject that's recently come on my mind really heavily. It's affected me personally. It's bullying and cyberbullying.
Yeah, these are actually, as you probably know as a subscriber, these are topics that really kind of hit home with me. For one thing, I do YouTube, so I get bullied over the internet all the time, and also my middle school experience was kind of awful. So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I just want to. What people don't seem to realize that I've noticed is they tend to keep to themselves when this happens. They don't talk about it, and that's something that they really need to do because what a lot of people don't realize is even though they may not see it, other people have gone through the same thing, and they have people that are there for them that will talk to them. And I just think that's if the people would actually talk to people and not just keep everything hidden and bottled up, then there would be a lot less suicides because of it.
Entirely. I mean, I'm someone who struggled with depression, and part of what helped me was talking to people who, for one, have been there, and also are a lot maybe older and wiser than me, and have been through a lot more. And it's really easy to see that your problem is fixable when you're talking to people who've been through the same thing, and it gives you the encouragement to really keep going forward and help yourself.
Yeah, I know what you mean because my friend, I'm not going to mention any names, but she almost killed herself because of cyberbullying. And, one of the reasons that she ended up not doing it is because, at least out of everyone that wasn't, I was there and I was able to talk to her and help her.
Yeah, part of what really hurts you when you keep things like that to yourself is you let some what people say to you, the mean things people might say to you over YouTube or Facebook, become a bigger part of you than they need to be. If you talk to people about them and let people tell you that it doesn't matter and let people tell you that you are a worthwhile human being or whatever, even though it may technically be a bigger part of your day talking about those things, it kind of lets you get it out of your system as opposed to keeping it within you, which is really, really unhealthy in a lot of cases.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, another thing is you can't. My best advice to someone is to not let it really get to you. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna feel good. It can hurt some things that people say, but just try to not let it get to you. It's
Yeah, yeah.
90% of the time, it's a 12-year-old kid in his basement that never sees the light of day.
My advice actually to people who have these things really strike home with them when people say things that are mean to them, especially over the internet, is to think to yourself, not about yourself, not about the things they said to you, but about the person who's saying them. Don't think like, wow, he called me ugly, I'm ugly. Think, wow, he called me ugly. He's the kind of person who would call somebody ugly. He's an asshole. Think about it that way. Don't think about it as something about you, because it's not about you. It's more about the person who's doing the bullying. It says more about
Exactly.
them.
Exactly. The sad thing is, even though a lot of people get some advice just like this we're giving them, and a lot of people still end up killing themselves at the end of the day, and it's a really sad thing to think about if you think about all the people that end up dying because of this.
A lot of people don't have the support networks that others are more fortunate to have. Me, I have acting, I have my theater, I have great friends, my family's really supportive, I have that network, but not everybody does. And I think it's important to actively seek an environment where you can be comfortable and happy talking about your issues. And if you don't have that now and you need it's something you need to literally walk out your front door and find. Go find a community, join a team, do something like that. Do something that makes you happy.
Yeah, because that's just something you need. You can't just sit not doing anything. You have to have something that's going to be able to get those feelings out, be able to talk to people and have a healthy community of people to talk to.
Yeah, yeah, and like it's hard to tell somebody who hasn't experienced it and hasn't really had that community, but it really does help. It really does make things better, and it's easier to pull yourself out of a rut when you have some helping hands.
Exactly. I know. I've had some ruts myself. I've never gone too far as to think you know I'm worthless. I shouldn't be here, but anytime that I've been feeling down, I always have some friends there to talk to help me. It's not
Yeah.
like It's not like I'm just alone, but I know what it feels like to be alone.
Yeah, because being alone is what really can let those thoughts go too far, and I don't necessarily mean being like alone in your room, like physically no one around. I mean being alone in your struggle, being alone with how you're dealing with your problems, because a lot of the time it's not something you can handle yourself, and you need to at times admit, okay, I can't handle this. I need someone's assistance here.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I do know that people have trouble with is they're embarrassed to talk about it. They feel it's just awkward to talk about it with people.
Yeah, my immediate response to that is if you're embarrassed to talk to your friends about, the problems that you're having, if they're serious, you don't have the right friends. Your friends need to be there for you. Your friends need to be the kind of people you can talk to. You need to find those people. They need to be there for you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. And because a lot of the times, like, I see people not want to talk to their immediate friends about it, and a lot of time people at school come to me because they know I've been there and they know that I'm the kind of person who is completely willing to talk it through with people, and they'll say things like, "Oh, this friend doesn't want to hear about it. This friend doesn't, she doesn't get it," and I understand completely if your friends don't get it. Like, if they don't get it and they're not going to be offer much help, yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, it's still really important to let your friends know what's up. If you're down or upset or depressed, you don't want your friends unaware of that. As awkward as it may be to tell them, you need to sit down with your friends and be like, listen, I'm having a problem. Because you don't want it to be a secret. You don't want it to be something people are going to eventually worry about when you don't show up to school or something.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I do want to touch on is that these people that are cyberbullying you, and even if they're just bullying you in real life, but this the first part that I'm going to say here goes towards cyberbullying. It's that that's illegal. You can get them in trouble for that.
Yeah.
You don't have to just sit there and take it. Not only do you go and talk about it, but you can get them in trouble for that. That's not right what they're doing.
Yeah, and a lot of times people are afraid to do that because they don't want to have the social repercussions of telling on someone essentially. But a lot of the times, if somebody's really causing you a problem and you know who they are and they're not anonymous and you can know them by name and you can get them in trouble, it's what you need to do because they're doing something wrong. They're causing you pain, even if it's not physical. It's hard,
Yeah, and then the other thing is if you're getting bullied in real life, that's even different. That's something that would, yeah, tripping over my words. That's something you need to go and tell people about. That's something you don't just keep to yourself because they're usually not just causing one person harm. They're usually causing more than one if they're going to be bullying people. So go tell someone, tell a parent, tell a teacher, tell someone who can help.
Yeah, I mean, aside from, you just getting yourself out of that situation by getting them in trouble, you also don't want that person learning to think it's all right to do the things they're doing.
Exactly.
That you don't want them getting used to getting away with it, getting used to walking away from, let's say, kicking someone's teeth, and I'll use an example from my childhood, and thinking, all right, that went over well. You don't want them to think of it as a positive thing. You want them to think of it as something that in the end will hurt them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that we're going on about 9 minutes here. Is that
yeah,
sufficient?
I think we've about covered everything that I wanted to talk about.
Perfect, man. It's been great talking to you. It has.
You too.
All right. Thanks for watching and all that stuff. My name is Codskar again. Hello, people who aren't from my channel. Hi.
And this has been Ryan. Bye.
Bye.